As you know, my daughter, my kids all participate in sports, and so my daughter Kayla, she's a basketball player, and Kayla has been dealing, and she runs track too, but it's basketball season, and mind you, I want to congratulate her. We worked hard on her being a point guard. She's in the 8th grade. She made the team, of course, like we thought she would, but she was named the starting point guard and team captain. Okay, so give a hand for Kayla. Give a hand for Kayla. Round of applause. I try to get it. That's one of the reasons I couldn't scope yesterday, because I had her with me yesterday. She's like, I don't want to be on scope, and it was just me and her. So I wanted her to feel like her and I were just spending time, and I didn't have to give her time to anybody else, even though it wasn't a official spend time. But me and her were together, so it was just like, it's just me and you. You want to go on scope? No, I want to go on scope. So I was like, fine, we won't go on scope. So. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to make those decisions, and just that's for the kids. Juju would have been like, yeah, let's get on that old school, man. Let's get on that old school. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, she's mad. Let me tell you why she's mad, is because Kayla has been dealing with pain in both of her Achilles. And so we had to take her to the emergency room, not because it was an emergency, but we had to take her to the emergency room on Saturday to get checked out, because she was having so much pain after a workout, and it's basketball season, so we had to get it checked out. We didn't have an appointment, so we go to the emergency room. They do x-rays. Of course, the x-rays are negative, because we know it's more tissue muscle damage, and she needed to get an MRI. So I called to set her up an appointment right away with the orthopedic doctor. And here's what makes me mad about the doctors. Can I go off on a tangent real quick? They just be trying to get your money. So I make an appointment, right? The first people we call, we can't get in with them, and we're trying to get in there right away. So they're a week out. So we call around. I call this, long story short, I call this sports medicine place, right? And in order to get seen right away, I am willing to drive like almost an hour away, right? I'm willing to drive an hour away to get my daughter in right away, so we can get her checked, get her MRI done, everything, right? Does that make sense? You guys understand? So I could have gotten an appointment for a days later, all right? But I decided to say, hey, I'm going to drive further so I can get my daughter an appointment sooner and still get her MRI, still get her checked out. So when I get there, we do everything. We fill out the paperwork. They email it to us. We fill out all this paperwork, do all this stuff so we can get there and we're prepared, right? So we fill out all the paperwork. Tammy fills it out. You let her fill out all that paperwork. I surely ain't doing it. That's mama stuff. So Tammy filled it out. Get all the way to the place, fill out a couple more paperwork that I don't really want to do. They're asking me all these questions, so I'm asking my daughter, do you smoke? She like, what are you looking at? Do I smoke? Do you drink? Are you having sex? Boom. You know how you look at your kids? Are you having sex? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Am I pregnant? Do you got blood in your urine? You know, my daughter's looking at me crazy. So when the lady calls us up, hey, Kayla? Yes. Kayla, we're getting ready to go up. Yeah, we're getting ready. Sir, you can wait here. We're going to do x-rays. I said, why are you doing x-rays? We just did x-rays Saturday. We don't need x-rays. We just did x-rays Saturday. We got referred to you guys. She doesn't have any broken bones in her foot. Y'all ain't just, but see, because that's what they try to do. They try to charge you for stuff that I'm like, no, man, call the other hospital, have them transfer you to files, and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got them 2 days ago, and I know she don't need it, so I'm not here for that. I'm here for an MRI. And this is what the lady tells me. We don't do MRIs here. What you mean you don't do MRIs here? Well, we don't do MRIs at this office. I said, so why would they make me an appointment to drive almost an hour away to come to an appointment where they don't do MRIs, which is what I asked for on the phone, and I clearly told them. And she said, well, sir, obviously there's some kind of miscommunication. Yeah, the miscommunication wasn't done by me, because I know how to talk to people. I know how to communicate. I know what I need, and I know I came out here. I told them I was willing to come out here so I can get a faster appointment in the first place. So how do they not know? How do you make a mistake like that? I don't understand. So she's like, well, let me call around and see what I could do. I said, yeah, why don't you do that? So Kayla's really mad, like, so we drove all the way out here for nothing? I'm like, oh, we did it. We can still see the doctor, whatever. All right, so she's like, fine, you know, have a seat. So they have us waiting for another 20, 30 minutes while they're trying to find her x-rays. He comes in, I can't find her x-rays. I said, it's fine, nothing's broken. He said, are you sure? He said, you guys just got to check. You're sure about that? I said, I'm confident nobody's broken. Nothing's broken. We're not here for that. We're here for MRIs. So he goes to his checking of her being out. Checks her out. Causes pain in both of her Achilles. Long story short, she doesn't have anything ruptured or anything. But she's injured. And he gives her, he's like, listen, you can't play. You cannot play. Your injury, what you have to do, like technically, I should probably give you a shot and pull out some fluid that you have in there, and give you some meds and send you away, and you should be out for 6 weeks. And mind you, her basketball season starts next week. So she's hot about it. She's like, well, I'm playing. I'm playing anyway. I don't care. I'm playing anyway. I don't care. And then he says, but I'm not going to give you a shot because your left is worse than your right. And but she was thinking her right was worse than her left because of the pain. He's like, nah, what I'm seeing, your left is worse than your right because feels like you got some fluid in there. And so I forget she has some tendonitis and inflammation. It's not her Achilles. It's the tendon right in front of her Achilles. Right? Are all my kids gangsters? Pretty much. I'm being straight up. Like, yeah, they are. She was like, I'm playing anyway. I don't care what y'all saying. I don't care what y'all talking about. And then so he says, well, listen, I'm going to have her checked out. I'm going to give her some steroids. That will help with the inflammation. And then after we do that, she has to sit down for 2 weeks straight. She can't do nothing. And I'll see her that second week. And then we'll go from there. And she needs to do physical therapy 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm like, dang. I said, okay. So she can't play. So I'm telling her, she's hot about, listen here. Sometimes when your kids get mad, I let them be mad. Go ahead and be mad, because I would be mad. You know what I mean? I would be upset. So she's like, I'm playing. I was like, you're not. I'm playing. You're not. You're not playing. Because thing is, she plays travel basketball, she does all this other stuff, and it's like, if you want to be okay, I'm not at my house, if you want to be okay, then you need to be able, you have to get healed in order to be okay. And that's even things that we can take away in life. Sometimes you think you're okay, and sometimes you got to go sit on the sidelines, heal, before you get back into the game. And sometimes we don't do that. We go through relationships, life struggles, things at our church, and sometimes we need to take time to sit on the bench and heal before we get back into the game. It doesn't mean that you're gonna not be able to play again. It just means that, hey, you got to go heal. You have to heal, even in your own life. So think about that. Sometimes we're getting taken out and we don't want to be taken out, and we just want to keep going and fight through it. Sometimes we don't need to try to fight through things anymore. Sometimes, you know what? You just need to sit down and you need to heal. Because when you're healed, you're better off as a person. Because sometimes you don't help the situation by playing hurt. If you've been hurt by a relationship, you don't play in another relationship hurt. If you play in that other relationship hurt, chances are you're ruining that relationship too. Because you're playing hurt. You didn't allow yourself an opportunity to heal. Right? Sometimes you just need to get a different perspective. Sometimes you need to sit down and watch the game from a different perspective. And so she leaves, she's mad. And so she's like, I'm hurt and I can't play and I'm upset. And then she feels like I'm the person that's taking her out the game. And I'm like, I'm not taking you out the game. I'm trying to go with the doctor's orders. Not that I don't want to have you seated and you can't play. I don't want to watch my daughter. She's been working hard, working with her point guard coach for a while, and she's getting ready to play this season. And sometimes you were preparing for a season, but even though you're prepared for the season, you weren't healed through your stuff, and you have to wait. you're still not released to do what you've been working on doing because you haven't been healed. That's a message for somebody right there. Amen, lights. Amen, son. Sometimes you've been preparing for this season in your life and it seems that it's here right now. But there's some past things that you haven't dealt with yet and you're not healed from them. And until you take a seat and you heal, you can't even do what you need to do in the season that you prepare for. Woo! That's good. That's good right there. Amen, son. Been preparing for it whole time, sitting there, going through everything that you need to do. Going through all your work, going through all the drills, that's what she's been doing. She's been drilling, going through all her deals, working on her jumper, shooting. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, working on a shot, working on her left hand. Her left hand was so bad, she was like, man, I'm working on my left. I can go left, now I can go right. I can cross over, I can do this, I can do that. But you know what? You're not healed. So the season that you've been preparing for, God won't release it to you. Release you to go work in that season, all you've been preparing for, because you're still hurting. Sometimes we try to mask all that hurt by just going out to play. And that's not what we need to do, and we just need to sit down and rest and get a different perspective. And that's right, DL Fitz. It's not a no, it's just not yet. It's not a you're out for the, it's not that you're out for the season. It's that you're not maybe going to start the season with everybody else. But here's the thing. The season starts, you may not start, but the season's going to end with you a part of it. Amen. So to continue in the story, so what happens is that Kayla's named a team captain. And so as a team captain, she's coming back and she has to give her team the news and her coach the news and whatever. So her coach is disappointed because she's depending on Kayla to come in and do a lot of different things. And as a leader, as an eighth grader and a point guard and a captain, all those things. And so, yeah, so she's hurting. So her coach is like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to replace her. Because, you know, sometimes you can't replace everybody. You don't have a good ball handler or whatever. So she gets out there and we're watching practice. Her and I are there sitting in the stands watching practice, and she's upset. And so we're watching and the team looks terrible. I mean, they just don't have anybody facilitating. And I keep telling Kayla, something happened. I said, you got to be a leader. You got to help your team. Even from the sidelines. And I'm just telling her that as a captain, you got to help them from the sidelines. You still got to be a voice or whatever. So I watched them do this drill about 10 times. And me and the coach are talking. I watch them do this drill 10, 12 times in a row. Wrong. And I'm sitting there watching them. And I'm watching Kayla. Kayla's getting frustrated. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. She's trying to tell her team from the sideline. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this. She's telling them. Do this, do that, do this. Right? And I'm just watching her. And I'm watching her on purpose because I want to tell her what to do. But sometimes in life, somebody can't tell you what to do. Sometimes you have to learn what to do. Sometimes you have to be put in a position to bring something out of you that's been there the whole time, so that now you can go out and do what's already in you to do. Catch what I'm saying, because I'm going somewhere. So I sat and watched. And this is what she did. She was watching them doing it, yelling at them doing it. And then what she did, she got up. She got up off the bench. She knows she can't run and do this stuff. She got up and she told them and she showed them what to do. Her coach and I just sat and let her watch. And watched her do what she do. All right? Watched her. So she said, when you they were trying to break the press. And they were making the wrong passes. So she said this. You pass to her. You pass it to the side. You come from inbounds. If the trap comes to you, then you pass it back. You can't dribble out of the press. Because if you dribble out of the press, the trap's going to come. You're going to turn the ball over. right? You're going to turn the ball over. So if you pass to her, you pass it back, and you run down the sideline, you pass to her, pass to the middle, we'll be on the other end. She starts coaching. So they run it again. And they did exactly what she says. When I'm telling you, she was coaching the second team against the first team. She was coaching the second team against the first team, right? So the second team blows by the first team. And then they're like, yeah, we did it. And then she looks back at them and she says, did it work? And they say, yeah. She said, that's how you got to do it. You got to pass out the press. Then she looks out at me. She looks back at me and I just said, there you go. And here's the thing about having to heal and preparing for your season. You're preparing yourself for one thing, but God's preparing you for something else, because Kayla has been needing to work on being a leader as a point guard, a floor general, and all those things. If she didn't have to go sit on the sideline, if she didn't have to take a back seat, then she wouldn't be able to get a coach's perspective of the game and be able to help her teammates be in the right place. They need a floor general. They need somebody to lead. Kayla needed to speak up. I've been telling her to speak up for 2 years. She won't do it. All of a sudden, what was already in her came out of her because she got so frustrated with what she was seeing that now she can say, you know what, I got a different perspective. In order for her to get the perspective that she needed, even for what she was preparing for, there's a piece that she needed by having to heal. And if she did not have to heal, then she could not sit down and watch the game from a coach's perspective to see what the team needs. Now, once she sees what the team needs, now she sits there and says, now I know how to help them. Now I know how to get up and help them. She wouldn't have saw it if she was perfectly healthy and getting out there trying to do it. She was just being frustrated. You guys don't know how to play. But you know what? You guys do know how to play. You guys just don't understand the scheme. So now she's able to be more of a leader, more of a help, and understand and bring something out of herself. Because as she goes forward, she's going to have to learn how to lead. And her teammates are going to have to trust her. And the only way you lead is by serving. And when you serve, she served her team by showing them what they needed to do. Sometimes we're sitting here and we always try to tell people. Let me show you what to do. And once we get up, sometimes you can sit down there, you could yell. You can do this, do that, do it like this, do it like that. But let me show you. That's what leaders do. Leaders serve. She served her team. Let me serve you, team. Let me help you. And when you're able to do that, you're able to take it to another level. So there's something in her preparation that she still needed to get, and God had to give it to her. And he can only get it to her by making her sit down and heal. Sit down and heal. And when you sit down and heal, then you'll see what I'm going to do, not only for your team, but I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it through you. Sometimes you got to sit down and heal so God can now work through you. So what are you fighting against that God is trying to heal you from, so he can actually sit you down to work through you? Don't fight the process. Don't fight the process of what God is trying to make you and what God is trying to make you become. And so don't buck the remedy and the medicine that the doctor's trying to give you. If he's trying to give you something, take it, receive it, even though you don't understand it. Because here's the thing. The same day that she got the news that she had to sit down and she can't play is the same day that he brought the leadership out of her. Oh! Just like that. Just like that. The same day that she accepted that she has to sit down and heal, just like that is the same day he said, now that you're listening to me, watch what I do through you. Hey! Come on in here, somebody. The same day. Come on now. All of a sudden, when you get in alignment with what he's trying to do for you, If you align with the things, now all of a sudden everything in your life begins to line up. Stuff stops clicking. Doors starts open. Doors that you didn't even know were there. Doors that you didn't even know he was preparing you for. Doors that you just didn't even see. Once you just say, you know what, God, I surrender to what you want to do. I surrender to what you want to do. And whatever, I don't understand it, but I'm just going to sit here and do what you ask me to do. If this is what you're asking me to do, that's it. I'm going to do it. And then just like that, boom, she starts leading. I've never seen my daughter lead like that ever in the history of her life. I've seen her yell and do stuff, but never get up and show like that. And never be able to do that. And I'm telling her that's the only way. I've been telling her that's the only way you're going to get to your team. When if your teammates aren't that good, you can't sit there and make them feel bad about how good. They know they're already not good. They know they're not as good as basketball as you. So it doesn't help them when you say, man, you're not that good. It helps when you say, you know what? Instead of shooting the ball out from a three, why don't you move in a little bit? Because you got good form. You shoot a little bit closer, you might make it. That's how you help them. Hey, listen, you dropped the pass. It's all right. Know that I'm going to be looking for you to catch the ball and pass it because you got a layup right there. You're open all game. I'm going to try to get you the ball. Lead them. Show them. And I've been trying to show them. Help them. Help her do that. But some of the stuff I can't tell her, but so much. Before she has to get into it herself, and God has to give it to her. And he's been preparing her. He's been preparing her. She didn't know. He's been preparing her. And she's still mad. She's still mad. You know why? Because she wants to play. But she can see that, you know what? I can get a different perspective on this game. And I can help my team in a different kind of way. And then the leadership in her, when they get on the court, they'll feel so empowered that she's back because you know what? Our leader's back. So when you get healed and God is going to work through you, the people around you are going to feel like, you know what? You're back. I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're back around. I'm so glad you're not on the sidelines anymore. I'm so glad. So that's the message for the day. If there's a comment, is there a question? We're closing. What's closing? Somebody asked me what my surrender moment was, and I was like, I don't know, man. I just told myself, man, that I'm just not gonna fight it anymore. Whatever God has for me is for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I just want to be obedient, man, and I just want things to go in my life the way that I want. And there's no way God has shown me all the stuff that he wants for me to do or I can do. Guys, you should see the kind of phone calls that I get for people to try to help me with different situations and businesses and stuff that they're in. I wish I could share everything with you. I can't yet, but I will. And so for me, I just said, Lord, how come I always get shown things, but I'm not able to receive them all the time? And the problem was, it wasn't that he didn't want to give them to me, but he needed me to heal in whatever situation I was. He needed me to go sit on the sidelines on a couple of things. Seems like I had to go sit on the sidelines for a couple of things, and I had to surrender. I had to surrender to a couple of things and a couple issues and a couple of things that have to be worked on in my life so that God can release that stuff to me so that I can do what I'm born to do. Which is, I've been preparing for all the stuff that's happening to me right now, but God has to fix some stuff in me so that when I get there and I do it, I can operate in it the way that he wants me to work in it and he can get the glory out of the situation. So I'm just trying to do that. Just trying to surrender to that. Whatever I need to do, just surrender to it. I don't understand it all the time, but just surrender to it. Just heal. I'm not starting no church. We got it. I started the church. It's on Periscope. You guys are the church. Is there a comment? Is there a question? We're closing.